just when we thought the codes couldn't go any deeper, they did. More shirts, more letters, and the pieces are continuing to fit. If this really is the Clancy double album, then we're watching it unfold in real time, live on stage, one cryptic shirt at a time. Let's break down everything new that we've discovered since the last video. This is a theory that I caught wind of early this week, and let's just call myself an early adopter of it because I'm going all in. Okay, I'm putting my reputation on the line. It basically explains why we're getting a Clancy double album and why it's going to be called Inferno. Let's go back to a time before Overcompensate dropped. We were receiving letters, the silence had been broken, and Clancy is writing to the Dema Citizens referring to an Inferno. What is an Inferno, you might ask? Well, in the context he's using it in, it's basically the rebellion brewing. It's all of his supporters coming together, doesn't matter the color of duct tape, whether it's red or yellow, which by the way, those are the colors of fire, bringing them together to take down the Dema towers and the bishops inside them. And Clancy basically says this Inferno is brewing, this rebellion is taking place. He was writing these letters leading up to the events of Paladin Strait, right before he needed the aid of the Dema Citizens. During this entire tour, we've seen this rebellion, we've seen this Inferno growing as these Dema Citizens are writing back and forth, some of them writing from the inside of the walls, some of them writing from the outside. So we have the context of what Clancy means when he talks about an Inferno, but why do we think that this new album is going to be called Inferno? I totally missed this in my last video, but a bulk of the Dema Citizen letters written during the European run have a Morse code figure next to the person signing the letter. Now, a lot of people have been trying to put this together, trying to figure out what this word that these Morse code characters is spelling. And up until this point, they've been trying to put these letters together chronologically in the order that the letters were revealed. Up until this point, they thought it could be spelling out either Nico again or 9 again. But I will propose a different theory. And a lot of this theory is based off of the iconic "Do you fief at home?", which obviously is supposed to spell out "Do you feel at home?" That led us to think, wow, this is actually a typo. 21 Pilots has used typos in the past in previous letters. For example, in the letters leading up to the Trench album reveal, Clancy used misspellings to communicate other words and messages within the letters. If there are multiple misspellings within a letter, you would take those characters, put them together, and it would create another word or phrase. Fief is a typo. So the question remains, where does this extra F in fief go? Now keep in mind that not every Dema letter has a Morse code associated with it, just like how not every single one of Tyler's shirts has a code on it. So here's where it gets crazy, and here's where my theory comes into play. Take the Morse code characters from the Dema Citizen letters that we have so far and combine it with the extra F from fief. And so far we have all of the letters contained within the word Inferno. Inferno will be the name of Clancy Part 2, which again makes sense because Clancy has been referring to this very Inferno since before the events of Overcompensate leading into the events of Paladin Strait. If we take this theory to be true, the concept of an Inferno was planted over a year ago. Now that Clancy is in Nico's chokehold at the top of the tower, he's gonna need the rebellion, the Inferno, to assist him in this final stretch of the battle. And many of us, since the events of Paladin Strait, have been saying we never got to see what came of the Dema Citizens that were converted or persuaded to join Clancy's cause within the walls of Dema. Those citizens still have a big part to play in this rebellion. They are half of the Inferno, half of the rebellion to aid Clancy. And if you look back, there are just so many references of Tyler saying, there's so much more to come. This tour is not the final battle. The fight still needs to happen. I made a video about this months ago, but he literally played a live set where he mentioned that he was still carving out what the ending looks like. We all know that there's more music coming, but I truly do think that it will be a double album. It'll be called Inferno, and I think that they were hiding this in plain sight the whole time. We all thought it was a little weird that Clancy was spelled out vertically on the cover. I truly think that that outline with Clancy within it is a Roman numeral. This is a bold prediction. I mean, this is hypothetical and hypothetical and hypothetical stacked, but I truly believe if there's a part 2, which I firmly believe, it'll have the same style of Roman numerals, except there will be 2 of them, and it'll have the word Inferno spelled out vertically within those 2 Roman numerals. Since my last video, Tyler still hasn't worn a shirt with another code on it. This theory is completely reliant on the Morse code that we'll get on the Dema letters moving forward, as well as the codes on Clancy's shirts. If there's a code on Tyler's shirt tomorrow night where the first letter of that code does not fall into the cipher that he published around Clancy's release, this whole theory is out the window. And the same is true for the Dema Citizen Letters. If we get a Morse code character that's like a B or a P or a C or a letter that isn't within Inferno, we're throwing this all out. But I've found from making videos and theories for years on 21 Pilots that it's way more fun to be bold about your theories. Even if you're wrong, it's just way more fun. The community gets hyped up. I think we're all secretly wanting for a double album, but the ones that are not voicing their desire for it, I think are a little bit too scared to believe in it, in the chance of being hurt later on in the future. And I've definitely been there in the past, but like I said, it's just way more fun being bold. So where do you fall in the two camps? Did I convince you a little bit for the double album theory called Inferno? Or are you still a little bit skeptical? You need more proof, you need more evidence? Let me know in the comments below. I swear, if this becomes like another purple era theory where it falls flat on its face, we'll all look back and laugh and probably cry, but then we can move on. Throw your crazy theories out there. Like 21 Pilots, Tyler, Josh have cultivated this culture, and no theory is too crazy. You know what I mean? If you missed my last video, not a worry. Click the video on the screen for even more compelling evidence backing up the double album theory. And ultimately, if this theory holds up, we aren't just watching a tour. We've been watching history as the next 21 Pilots era just writes itself, and we'll all be ready for the next clue when it drops.